Calvin Castine on the bench as usual here at Northeastern Clinton Central School, although I've never really been on the bench at Northeastern Clinton Central School. It never existed when I was in school. But it has been around since the 71-72 season, and seated to my right is a former player who graduated from here back in 2004. Behind the camera next to my wife Judy, who's running the camera, is his father. His father, like me, a Yankee fan, and he and I both share a great, I don't know how you'd call it, grief that our sons turned out. My youngest son and his son, his only son, turned out to be a Mets fan. And at least if it was the Red Sox, it'd be a major league team, but instead it's the Mets. So we have to live with that, Jim, but we persevere. James Tierney.
That would be me.
And who we have here with you?
I'm Kimberly Berry.
Kimberly Berry. Spell Berry. A lot of spelling.
B-A-R-R-Y.
All right. That's the way I'd spell it. Except for Mark Berry to get upset with me if I did that. James, you graduated here 2004, and I know you've been to Yankee Stadium and Shea Stadium, and have you been to the new ballparks yet? The new Mets ballpark and the new Yankee ballpark?
Yes, personally I've been to both Citi Field and the new Yankee Stadium, but Kimberly's only been to Citi Field so far.
So far, okay. And I know you've been to Olympic Stadium.
Oh yes, I've been to Olympic Stadium many a time.
Many times, but I haven't been there since 2004 myself.
Yeah, me too.
Which just happened to be the last year of the Montreal Expos, but that's another story. Your father called me a couple of weeks ago, maybe now, telling me all excited about a trip you guys are taking. Fill us in.
That's right. On June 17th, we decided, well, I guess we decided a few months before then, but we started on June 17th, and we're going to hit up all 30 baseball stadiums on one giant road trip.
So June 17th was your first one?
June 17th, we
and,
saw...
You got the tickets already?
We had the tickets up through this point, so now we're starting to purchase the tickets for the second half of the trip.
Which in itself is a great undertaking.
Yes, that's for sure.
So before we get into that first June 17th, where are you now? Outside of right here at this moment, you're here, but where are you now?
Well, we've seen 14 stadiums.
No, where are you?
Where am I?
In your life.
We currently live out in Orange County, California, in a nice city called Tustin, California. We're both involved in education. I own a tutoring business out there for math and economics, and I teach part-time at a couple of the community colleges.
Okay, so you're a long way from your roots?
A long way. I got as far away as I could from Mr. Tierney back there.
Well, he could go visit you in Hawaii, maybe. Meet you halfway.
Maybe.
And Kim, where are you from?
I'm from Southern California, so not very far from my roots, although currently I am. And right now I'm getting my master's in school psychology, so I have the summer off as well.
I always cringe when I hear a blonde talk about her roots, We won't talk about my blonde wife's roots. So you're a California girl?
Yep, I am.
All right. The Beach Boys sang about you even before you came along.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So you guys are out there, and where'd you start your trip?
We started in LA, so we saw the Dodgers
appropriate.
play the White Sox on June 17th. Then the next day we saw the Angels play the Giants on the 18th. So ever since then we've been making our way across the
country. So you went to interleague
country.
games?
Yeah, first 4 or 5 games were all interleague games. So.
Now I know you grew up as a baseball fan. Kim, are you new to the sport?
No, my dad was a huge baseball fan, so I grew up a baseball fan as well, just not a Mets fan. The Mets fan thing is new.
And what were you before you lost your sanity?
Just a baseball fan.
Just a baseball fan. Okay, so you were up for grabs then.
Yeah.
Well, sooner or later the Mets are going to have a winning season, and
Hey, they have a winning season right now, halfway through.
Yeah, but they've done there before. Okay, so you started there in California, 2 games, and now this is you were able to take the summer off, being in a field that's doing your education. Are you in a similar field, or what do you How are you able to take the summer off?
Yeah, I'm in a master's program right now, so I have no summer school for me.
No responsibilities at all, just roaming the country.
Yep.
How do you get along? You drive? How do you get from place to place?
Yeah, we've been driving the whole way, so we've put on almost 6,000 miles on the car so far. Probably another 4 or 5 on the way back. So we'll see if there's any major vehicle improvements we'll need to make, but so far so good.
Now, you've obviously got a scheme to this. You're not just going to go show up in St. Louis and say, where do we go from here? You know, you've already collected your dots, let's say.
Yep, we spent an evening and just went through with the schedule. I mean, we have a couple places where we have to backtrack. We have to backtrack to Toronto. We have to see the Mets and the Yankees 10 days apart just because of the way the scheduling is. But we did a pretty good job. Took us about 2 hours, and we were able to get every stadium, along with stopping in a few places. We stopped in New Orleans, staying here for a week with the Rents, and spend a couple extra days in Boston, so it'll be a good trip.
Okay. So you're staying rent-free with the Rents?
Yeah, better be. I don't know.
You haven't got the bill. Maybe the rent is free, but maybe the meals are going to be...
Yeah, who knows?
We might have a bill when we go to leave.
payable before you return.
That's right.
You've got a poster, and you've had your picture taken with every one of these stadiums so far. You've been to how many?
So far we've been to 14, and
14 out of 30.
Out of 30, we get our picture taken with a map that Kimberly made before the trip.
Sneaking in here is behind me is Jim Tierney. Now I've known James Tierney a lot longer than he has known me, because when I used to record at the Beaumont, Jim Tierney was our faithful play-by-play man back in the old days. And there was always this little guy in diapers that was there, and then he got to be a toddler, and Dad, every time we'd be recording, he'd say, Dad, can I have a soda? And Jim would just hand him some money and get rid of him.
I wish you'd do that now.
Yeah. All right, so we're not going to ask Judy to zoom in because our Zoom is a little malfunctioned here, but you've got some autographs. These are players, I assume?
Yep, every time we try to get to the stadiums about 2 hours early, see some batting practice, really take in the stadium. And a lot of times you'll see a lot of players that are signing, and most of them have been very friendly and are interested in our trip and give us an autograph either near their hometown or near the stadium that we're at. So it's been a great experience so far, that's for sure.
Okay, so you ask somebody in the crowd to take a picture of you with this sign?
Yeah, we usually ask just someone who looks nice. And someone who may already have a camera, so we know that they can take a picture.
Or somebody with kids, so we know they can't get very far if they take the
hold,
camera.
Hold one of their kids.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I can tell who made the sign because it says Kim and James.
That's right. We put her name first, even though James comes before Kim in the alphabet, I believe.
And it's Kim and James Grand Baseball Tour.
Yep.
All right, so I won't let you hold that out in the sun too long here. We don't want those autographs to start fading here. The marker will kind of fade. You're going to have to keep that protected like they do museum stuff here. Yeah. Otherwise, those autographs will just disappear on you.
That's the plan is to frame it when it's all done. Maybe put a couple of the tickets and maybe some pictures around it, and it'll be a good thing to have for a while.
Now, in addition to the still shots, you haven't thought to bring a little video camera, have you?
Well, we both have an iPhone, so we take videos every now and then of it, but mainly it's just a lot of...
Have you saved those?
Yes, we have. We probably take about 100 pictures a game, put them all up on our Facebook page and everything, so that way we can send it out to both of our families and we don't have to show them each individually, which would take way too long.
But have you done video with your iPhone?
A couple of videos, yep, and we put them up as well.
Okay, put them up. You've got a website.
Yes, my personal website, which is jamestierney.com. I go ahead and I write.
Who hasn't visited jamestierney.com? I mean,
hundreds of thousands of visitors. I write about all the stadiums themselves, what I think, the pros and the cons, the game. Try to be funny here and there. My father thinks I'm funny. That's probably about it. And then I'll let Kim talk about hers.
I have celiac disease, so I eat gluten-free. So I've been writing a blog about all the different gluten-free options at the stadium. So that's been really cool. Almost every stadium we've been to has had gluten-free hot dog buns.
Well, I've been up to Olympic Stadium with some guy who threw away the hot dog bun and ate the hot dog.
Yep. That's what I had to do at Dodger Stadium. They didn't have any buns, so.
Oh, right there, your first one. You said,
Yeah.
"Oh, what an awful start."
I know, I figured, well, this is what it's going to be like. But no, everywhere else pretty much has had them.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. All right. So all you gluten-free folks out there, stay away from the Dodgers.
Yep.
It's very true. The website is kimversusgluten.com, which is where you can check out a review of every single stadium, she's been doing great with that. Actually, we had MLB interview us in Atlanta and link her blog to it, so we got a lot of hits from that too. So it's really cool.
They must have liked mine better because my link made it up and his didn't. So.
Mine did not make it. Still very bitter about that.
Well, yours is a cause. His is just,
Yeah.
looking to James Tierney. What?
You know.
What are you doing? You could have said something.
Yeah, I could have made something up.
Metsfan.com or something.
Yeah, that'd be a cause right there.
Okay. So you're going to see, obviously, some teams more than once. Which team are you going to see the most in this?
We're going to see the White Sox 5 times, and we'll only see the Mets once.
Oh.
So we've already seen
We've
them.
already seen them.
But
So you've been to City Stadium?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
we went to Citi Field last Thursday night, where the Mets won in walk-off fashion against the Philadelphia Phillies, the last place Philadelphia Phillies. It was a great game.
Yep.
Anytime you can beat the last place Philadelphia Phillies.
That's right.
Well, unfortunately, I want it to be the last place Washington Nationals because they're the former Expos.
Hey, I was.
Then I also want it to be the last place Miami team because that's Jeff Loria who helped move the Expos out of here.
That's very true.
So I wanted to both be in last, tied for last. So only the Mets just once.
Mets just once. Yankees only once, I believe. Maybe twice. I'm pretty sure only once.
No, just once.
Just once. So
Yeah.
who have you seen twice so far? You must have seen somebody a couple times at this point.
We've seen the Phillies and the Braves twice so far, and the Nationals
And the
twice.
Nationals twice.
Okay. So which stadiums have you gone to?
Well, let's see.
Each gonna do one. You do one, you do one,
Okay.
and keep see how far we can
wow.
go here.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
Start with the Dodgers.
Start with the with the Dodger Stadium,
And then we went to the Anaheim Angels.
and then San Diego Padres.
And then we went to Chase Field in Phoenix for the Diamondbacks.
We saw Texas or Rangers Ballpark at Arlington.
And then Minute Maid Park for the Astros.
Then we saw the New Marlins Park,
Miami Marlins.
Miami Marlins, right? That's well, hopefully.
And then Tropicana Field for the Tampa Bay Rays.
And we saw Turner Field. We saw the Braves.
And then Nationals Ballpark for Washington Nationals.
And then Oriole Park at Camden Yards there in Baltimore to see the Baltimore Orioles.
And then did we go to the Mets after that?
No, then we went to Pittsburgh,
yeah,
PNC
Pittsburgh.
Park
On 4th of July.
on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Saw the Pittsburgh Pirates at PNC Park. It's a beautiful stadium.
Okay.
And then we went to Citi Field to see the Mets.
All right. That's an even number. I haven't kept track here.
Well, then we had one more. Then
One more.
we Citizens Bank Park, and we saw the Phillies. So we got to see the last place Philadelphia Phillies lose 2 days in a row.
Oh, well, that's great. That's
great.
15 parks then.
No, it's 14.
You started and you ended.
Well,
I know, but he had to fill in for me. I messed
okay,
up.
Okay.
I got the order
I'll
wrong.
count them when I get home. And, and if you haven't got all 14. So where's the
Edit it in.
next?
Well, next we will see the Yankees play at New Yankee Stadium on Sunday, and then Fenway Park on Monday,
Okay, and then
and then all the way across the country again, Cleveland, Cincinnati, everywhere in the Midwest. I probably couldn't.
you're gonna leave before you leave this east. You're gonna run up to Toronto. Or?
Yeah, we're gonna do.
We do Cleveland, Cincinnati, Detroit, and then Toronto.
Okay.
We've got to kind of
Yeah,
loop
that's
around.
That's not too far.
Not too bad.
No, see, I've never been to Toronto. Have you been to Toronto?
Driven through. Never been to a Rogers Center, I believe is.
Have you ever been to Canada?
2 Christmases ago when we were here, we went up to Montreal.
Okay.
But I just got my first passport, so
You better have your passport.
Oh, I do. I
We
do.
I have an enhanced license, so
That's
that works just as good for crossing the Canadian border purposes. Okay, now what else happens on your website?
So, like I said before, I'm a teacher, so I teach college level economics. So I basically designed the website so that way I could keep in touch with my students. Students are online more often than they're not nowadays, so I put up all of my notes. And then I like to, at least once a week, put a post up about something either going on in the current economy or something that we're talking about in class, give them a different look at some material. So I've been trying to put up a couple of those during the trip as well.
Okay. But there's a section of it that's devoted to the
Yep. If you go right on the
baseball tour.
right on the main page, you can see all the different stadiums that we've been to and all of my 5-star reviews that I give of each of them.
Uh-oh. So what's got the lowest review so far?
I would say, so Minute Maid Park in Houston, we didn't really like that one. That also might be because it's in Houston. It's about 100 degrees.
But it's inside. So the weather wasn't really a factor. It's just kind of a meh stadium.
So you agreed with his
Yeah.
rating. How many stars?
I'd probably just give it 2 stars out of 5. I think everything. I don't know. We haven't been to Oakland yet. I heard Oakland is not the greatest. That
Saved
might get
the
a 1.
best for last. We do Oakland last.
Well, Oakland, I think it's going to depend on the weather because they
Yeah.
got, like San Francisco, they got that cold air that sometimes comes off. You don't always associate out here with California, but they're in that Bay Area that gets some cold breezes, relatively speaking.
That's right.
And you know about cold breezes, having played your
Oh, I've played some baseball here.
time right here. Okay, anything else that I should know about or know enough to ask you guys?
Well, if anybody ever wants to do a similar trip or even a partial trip, they should really contact the baseball teams. We went ahead and we emailed every single ticket office, and we actually got 3 stadiums who offered us free tickets. And we haven't been to Cleveland yet, but they have a social media suite where they offer to people who are either blogging or using their Twitter or their Facebook, and they offered us 2 seats into their social media suite, which is just like a regular suite right behind home plate, where we can hook up to the internet and do live blogging and all that other stuff. So I would definitely suggest if anyone's doing any sort of trip to send them an email, and most teams are at the very least will give us some free stuff when we get there, a hat or a poster or something.
Yep.
So you're in it for the freebies.
Yeah, gotten a couple free hats and some free tours too. If anybody wants to do this trip, contact the tour offices as well, because it definitely makes a difference if you get a tour before the game.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And you didn't get that in Houston, apparently.
No,
No.
Houston did not offer us anything.
No, we did in Dallas though, the Arlington Stadium. So that was really cool.
Okay, did you get to meet Nolan Ryan?
No, we did not meet Nolan Ryan. We tried.
Did you know
I tried.
you were there?
I hope so.
A fellow pitcher, you said, hey,
That's right.
I used to pitch.
I used to
Nolan.
throw about half as fast as you did.
Okay, anything else? Jim, can you think of anything back there? No? You're just
I don't know.
standing there grinning. And
That's what he does.
That's true. Nothing, Kim, that you can think of that...
No.
Say, what's that? Isn't this dummy ask us this?
No.
Okay, James?
No, we just want to say thank you to you and Hometown Cable. It's awesome.
Okay, well, when you compile when you're done and you compile your video, let me know. We'll put it up on our website.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll definitely be linking the website as well on both of our blogs, so people can check it out.
Okay, because we get a few hundred hits a day. You know?
Oh, look at that. I know. I believe I watched my kindergarten graduation on there once or twice.
Okay, and you probably find your high school graduation on there too,
All right.
along with 6th grade. All right,
All right.
thank you, folks.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Judy, for running the camera. We're sitting here at the baseball diamond at Northeastern Clinton Central School, and it hasn't rained in a while, so the weeds are a little bit long, but the field looks pretty good shape right now. Just trim off the weeds, and they're ready to go here. Thanks, Judy.